I am from Group D. So today our group would like to present our topic about communication system. Internal communication. Internal business communication can be divided into two: downward communication and horizontal communication. Upward communication is the flow of information from subordinates to superiors or from employees to management. Upward communication is a means for staff to exchange information, offer ideas, express enthusiasm, achieve job satisfaction, and provide feedback.
Downward communication. Information flowing from the top of organizational management hierarchy and telling people in organization what is important, mission, and what is value, policy. There are 6 types in communication is needed to organization. The first is boost morale. Second, increase efficiency. Third, transmit virtual information. 4, give instruction. Number 5 is encourage two-way discussion. Number 6, announcement decision. Number 7, seek cooperation. And last but not least is motivation provided.
Okay, next is horizontal communication. Horizontal communication normally involves coordinating information and allows people with the same or similar rank in organization to cooperate or collaborate. Horizontal communication is essential for solving problems, accomplishing tasks, improving teamwork, building goodwill, and boosting efficiency. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum dan salam sejahtera. My name is HAFIZA binti ALIMIN. Today I want to explain to all of you about external communication. Communication with people outside the company is called external communication. Supervisor communicate with sources outside the company such as vendors and customers, leads to better company profits, operational efficiency, sales volume, and public credibility.
Effective email. How to write effective email? First, ask yourself if you should using an email at all. Sometimes it may be better to pick up the phone. Make your email concise and to the point. Only send to the people who really need to see them, and be clear about what you would like the recipient to do next.
Communication with people outside the company is called external communication. Supervisor communicate with sources outside the organization such as vendors and also the customer. So it leads to better sales volume, public credibility, operational efficiency, and some more company profits. The radio subject line fails to alert people to the upcoming meeting. Second, the meeting information includes the day, not the dates, which could lead to confusion. The lack of a closing thank you contributes to the harsh, abrupt tone and the fails to provide alternative contact information or invite questions about the meeting.
Okay, hi. Today I would like to explain about effective versus ineffective emails. Okay, these emails mostly contain the same information, but one is better than the other. Okay, ineffective email. In this slide, customer service list and social media strategy. Okay, the vague subject line fails to alert people to the upcoming meeting. Okay, the greeting is cold and off-putting. Okay, paragraph 1. The opening paragraph fails to provide necessary information for anyone who missed the meeting. Paragraph 2. A negative accusing tone here puts reader one defensive. This request for action fails to clarify who needs to do what by when. The details. The meeting information include the day, not the date, which could lead to confuse. The wording here assumes that people who won't attend don't want, which might not be true. In closing is the lack of a closing thank you contribute to the harsh abrupt tone and the fails to provide alternative contact information or invite question about the meeting.
One step of effective communication. First step is what and why. To consider what is the objective of your communication. Second point is select channel. To consider what channel of communication that is suitable. Point is select encoding technique. Encoding is choosing the manner in which we send our message. For example, the language you choose, an angry, soft voice or harsh tone. Step 4 is consider barriers. To consider all possible barriers that may influence the recipient's understanding of the message. Step 5 is send message. Having considered all aspects, you may now send your message. Step 6 is check your understanding. After sending the message, it is important to check whether the recipient has understood the message as you intended. Last step is obtain feedback from recipient. You must obtain feedback from the recipient so that your communication has been effective. If not, instead of blaming the recipient, ask yourself why the communication failed.
Example of communication issue is not really listening and assuming you know the message before the person finishes, interrupting the speaker, and using you statement instead of I statement.
The next example for communication issue is letting your emotions dictate your response. Next, failing to account for cultural difference in communication. Next, misinterpreting the message. And last, being indirect.
So today I'm gonna talk about non-verbal communication, or also known as body language. When we talk about communication, we often mean what we say, which is referred to the words that we use. However, the interpersonal communication is much more than the explicit meaning of words and the information or message that they convey. It also includes explicit messages, whether intentional or not, which are expressed through nonverbal behavior. Nonverbal communication includes facial expression, tone and pitch of the voice, and gesture displayed by kinesthetic and proxemic. The nonverbal signal can give clues and additional information more than the spoken communication give, which is the verbal communication. Indeed, some of researchers suggest that they estimate about 70 to 80% of communication is nonverbal communication. Nonverbal communication helps people to modify or reinforce what is said in words. So for example, people will nod their head vigorously when saying yes to show that they agree to someone. So just like, yes, 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 yes. Another example, a shrug of the shoulder and a sad expression when saying I'm fine, thank you may imply that it actually it is not fine at all. So basically it was just like I'm fine, thanks. So I say I'm fine, but actually I'm not fine at all. Non-verbal communication also convey information about the emotional state. Your facial expression, your tone of voice, and your body language can often tell people exactly how you feel, even if you hardly said a word. Consider how often you say to someone, "Are you okay? You look a bit down." So the other people that we ask will respond, just like a facial expression, we know that actually she or he is not okay, even without saying a single word. So facial expression can help us to know someone emotional state. It also can define or enforce the relationship between people. So a simple example. If you have ever watched a couple sitting talking, they exactly tend to mirror each other body language. So basically it's like this. They hold their hands in similar position. They smile at the same time. And they face each other face fully. So this movement reinforce the relationship. How? By they build their own rapport and help them to feel more connected. So non-verbal communication may also provide a feedback to other person. So example, when you smile and nods to other people or to someone that you're talking to, it shows that you are actually listening and agree to what they have saying. Movement and hand gesture may indicate that you wish to speak. So these subtle signals actually give information gentle but clearly. Last but not least, non-verbal communication also regulate the flow of communication. So there are a number of signals that we use to indicate that we actually finish of speaking or we may want to speak. So for example, an emphatic nod and firm around your lips may indicate that you have nothing more to say. So it was like, so that's all from me. Thank you. Basically like that lah. Making eye contact with the chair of the meeting and nodding slightly may indicate that you may want to speak. So example like that.
And I will continue the slide from my friend NURFATHIHA, and I will explain to learning the language. Many people books on non-verbal communication present the topic as if it were a language that can be learned. The implication being that if the meaning of every nod, eye movement, and gesture we known, the real feelings and intention of a person would be understood. This, of course, is absolutely true. Unfortunately, interpreting nonverbal communication is not as simple. Nonverbal communication is not a language with a fixed meaning. It is influenced and driven by the content in which it occurs. This includes both the place and the people concerned, as well as the full culture. The culture. For example, a nod of the head between colleagues in a committee meeting may mean something very different from when the some action is used to ask someone across a crowded room, and again when two people are having social communication, like having chatting on WeChat, WhatsApp, Snapchat, Facebook, all. And as you know, the importance of non-verbal communication. Number one, first, people tend to have much less conscious control over their non-verbal message than of what they're actually saying. Number two, this is partly because non-verbal communication is much more emotional in nature and therefore much more instinctive. Number three, if there is a mismatch between two, therefore you should probably trust the non-verbal messenger rather than the words used. And last, A lack of nonverbal message may also be a signal of sorts, suggesting that the speaker is carefully controlling their body language and maybe trying to hide their emotional.
The concept of empathy is emotion. Research generally define empathy has the ability to sense other people's emotions, coupled with ability to imagine what someone else might be thinking or feeling. Cognitive empathy, sometimes called perspective taking, refers to our ability to identify and understand other people's emotions. Definition of empathy. Empathy is the capacity to understand or feel what another person is experiencing from within the mind frame reference. The capacity to place oneself in another position. Empathy is saying with the eyes of another, listening of the ears of another, and feeling of the heart of the another. There are many definitions of the empathy, which encompass a broad range of emotional states. Types of empathy is cognitive empathy, emotional empathy, and somatic empathy.
Hi, my name is Hazima. Now is part empathy. What is the important empathy? Empathy is important because it helps us understand how another feeling, so we can respond appropriately. How another feeling, so we can respond appropriately to the situation. Maksudnya empati penting karena dapat membantu kita memahami bagaimana perasaan orang lain sehingga kita dapat bertindak balas dengan tepat terhadap situasi tersebut. It is typically associated with social behavior, and it lots of research showing that greater empathy leads to more helping behavior. Maksudnya ia biasanya berkait dengan tingkah laku sosial, dan terdapat banyak penyelidikan yang menunjukkan bahwa empati yang lebih besar mendorong kepada tingkah laku menolong. Now 3 types of empathy. They are cognitive, emotional, and compassionate empathy. This page explain what is meant by its of possibility to demonstrate one or more. Maksudnya ini adalah empati kognitif, emosi, dan penyayang. Halaman ini menunjukkan apa yang dimaksudkan dengan setiap jenis empati ini. Ia juga menjelaskan bagaimana dan mengapa mungkin untuk menunjukkan satu atau lebih daripada 3 jenis empati. Masih tidak dilihat. Emotion contagion, true empathy, cognitive empathy, perspective taking, and theory of mind. Maksudnya dia ada pengenalan, dia ada penularan emosi, empati sejati, empati kognitif, pengambilan perspektif, dan teori pikiran. Thank you for watching. Bye.